If you notice you're getting triggered, there's something there.
Yes, that's a sign. Yeah.
That is so powerful.
And many
It's
people, getting all of these reactions like, oh, I'm angry now, or I am, feeling this and this way. And sometimes they just say, oh, that's just a human emotion.
You're listening to the Spiritual Shitshow podcast with Suzanne Sole, episode 45. Greetings, all you gorgeous and sultry souls, and welcome to the Spiritual Shitshow podcast, where we get into the holy drama the healing and spiritual awakening journey can be. I'm your host, Suzanne Sole, comedian, lifelong spiritual student, and I'm sharing some of the delights I've learned along my journey that have helped me and that I hope help you too. Speaking of delights, I am delighted to be chatting with London-based Reiki Master, Karma Yogi Practitioner, and holistic badass Edith B. Kiss about trauma, transformation, and finding purpose. As a holistic mentor, success habit coach, and international speaker, she has dedicated her life to helping people break free from limitations and embrace their true potential. Originally from Hungary, she activated her pineal gland during samadhi meditation and experienced a deep karmic awakening that inspired her to move to London to create her holistic healing work. She is the author of On the Healer's Journey, a practical guide helping light workers transform with confidence. Co-author of the #1 bestseller, One Habit for Entrepreneurial Success, which earned her the title Habit Expert from Thrive Global. And she contributed to the book Soul Food with Amy Elizabeth. Recognized with a humanitarian award from DK Suomi Foundation for her emotional trauma support and educational initiatives in Nigeria. Edith says she helps her clients heal from their racing thoughts, insomnia, and feelings of emptiness by helping them raise their vibration and reconnect with who they truly are, so they can better weather the storms of life, live with more joy, and transform into the next version of themselves. She works with clients from all over the world, including New Zealand, the United Kingdom, Hungary, Nigeria, and the United States. I hope you enjoy part 1 of this illuminating conversation I had with the lovely Edith B. Kiss. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Welcome, Edith B. Kiss, to the Spiritual Shitshow podcast, interview shit show. It's lovely to have you here.
Yes, thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah. So I was doing some research on you and I found some really great stuff, some really incredible work that you are doing. And I'm a big advocate on the idea of releasing trauma to get to what's already within us. And can you share about your work and how you came about to that conclusion that releasing the trauma is a big help in that?
So basically, when I started to get into spirituality consciously, it was in my 20s when I was suffering from panic attacks. So that when I went into Reiki healing first, energy healing, and family constellation therapies. So already there, when I was doing energy work and mostly the family constellation therapy was already showing to me that not even just our trauma, but the ancestral trauma is also affecting our current reality. And going deep into that, into the family unconscious and healing that is also creating a better life for us. And then that was the beginning. It was like 20 years ago. And since then, while I was also an engineer in my profession, I was a petroleum engineer for 15 years. I used these tools just for my well-being, visiting those retreats and healing, and the Reiki I used on myself and the family for a while. And then I got introduced to karma yoga healing in 2018, and that was when was a very powerful shift in me as well, because it was like a pineal gland activation and opened up the karma vortex. And basically I started to have lots of breadcrumbs from the universe, lots of synchronicities, and even I realized people coming into my life from my past life. So it was a very profound experience. And it showed me that it's not just all childhood trauma or ancestral trauma, but our past life trauma is also affecting our reality. So as I was diving deeper with this modality, with this karma yoga healing into the, the multidimensional existence of ours, that's how I basically realized that there's a lot to do which people don't know. People try to fix their life in this reality, basically just speaking about it or taking medications or doing exercise or stuff like that. But there is so many things and so many things in this equation, how to actually feel healthier and happier in this current reality. And that's what came through all of these modalities.
So I'd love to just kind of go through what you've just shared. The panic attacks, and FYI, I also used to suffer from really bad panic attacks. So I know how overwhelming they can be and how much they can disrupt your life. So you started having these panic attacks, and where did that first lead you to for your healing?
Yeah, so first, basically, I just had the Reiki sessions, which
So,
meant like trying to managing these panic attacks, which was like I never knew when it's coming. I never knew why I had them at the beginning, like in the first, 10 years or 15 years. I didn't really know how is it appearing or when it. I just knew it's happening, and then I just used the Reiki to basically calm myself or trying to mitigate it or lower the possibilities, or after the panic attacks having a couple of sessions to feel better. But then
yes.
after knowing the karma yoga healing, and then started to more getting into the details, like why is it happening, what are the circumstances, how I can make it better when I feel better. So I was going into more details, and then I realized that my diet was also a big part of it, like what I eat, how I eat, the
Yes.
supplements or nutrients and vitamins also, and then also the past traumas, which was an origin of this trigger, like the reaction to the triggers. So that
Yes.
was like a complex, a holistic approach, basically.
Yes, I love that. I would just love to kind of just go through that process that you went through to get to where you are now. And so you went for the Reiki first, and which is obviously that energetic healing, which I have done as well. And I totally, yes, I get it. It is very helpful. But like you say, it kind of is like a managing
Yeah.
thing rather than getting to the root of it. So you went from the Reiki and then you decided you wanted to get to the root of it. And that's when you started to explore.
Yeah, actually, because when I was in that point of when I had my Reiki Master label, and then when I had a lifestyle change as well in my life. So basically, I went from 9 to 5 working to contractor. So I had more free time. I also lost a lot of weight through my diet change. So I felt a lot of positive shift in my life before I got introduced to karma yoga healing. So I wasn't searching actually in that state of my life.
Ah,
I felt
okay.
actually very confident and very happy with myself.
Oh, okay.
But it's somehow universe, guided me to that place, to that course, that event, to help out. I was just invited to help out, basically. And then
Oh,
I ended up translating the booklets from English to Hungarian. And yeah,
that's
so
your native
that's
language is
yeah, yeah.
Hungarian.
So I'm from Hungary originally, and then
Very
that
good.
time I was living in Hungary at that
Right.
moment of time, and
Yes.
then yeah, and then the guru was from India, and
Ooh.
basically I translated from English to Hungarian.
So what I'm understanding is the Reiki did help you with the panic attacks. Is
A bit,
that
a
what I'm
bit.
under?
So
Yeah.
yeah, so just a bit, because
Okay.
yeah, it might give me some, I don't know, hope, or it might calm
Yes.
me down afterwards, but
Yes, yes,
the
yes.
but the it did not stop the pattern, basically.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you were still experiencing some panic attacks, but things were going well in your life.
Yeah, yeah. So I
And
mean, my panic attacks always been like in every like maybe 3 5 months, So it wasn't like a weekly thing or a daily thing. So it for me it was like, I would say like a 3 months or 5 months thing was
yes.
mostly.
Yeah.
And yeah, so at that moment I wasn't searching, but I got into this karma yoga healing.
I want to just kind of get into like for people that don't know what a panic attack is, what is kind of like the experience and the beliefs that come up when you're having a panic attack?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's more like first you think that okay, there is some feeling of fainting maybe, or there is some feeling of out of control. There is a feeling of weakness, or you feel like you dizzy or weak, and then you also could have like a fear of death. So that's the
Mm,
fear of death is there. So
yeah.
people can say like, oh, I'm having like chest pain, so maybe I'm having a heart attack or this kind of things.
Yeah.
And especially if they have some underlying things already, so they can connect to it that, oh, what if that fired up in me, and then that's what is like. So basically, I got to the point that it could be because they don't know their body, they don't know why
Yes.
it's happening, what in their body. So the first
Mm,
thing would be like more understanding why you are having certain sensations in your body, and
yes.
that is really important. A second thing is what important is again your diet and your supplements, your nutrients, because if you have enough iron, if you have vitamin B, if you have magnesium enough level, then basically you're not gonna panicking because you are more calm. You're not
Yes.
getting anxiety, or you are more calm, and you are like, oh yeah, I'm having this sensation, but it's okay. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's gonna pass, or I just need to drink some water or rest.
Right.
So that's what is going into when you realize that how to handle it. And then the other thing is, yeah, of course, if you want to connect it to traumatic experiences, because it's, of course, these triggers are a sign of unresolved trauma. I did that too. I did the source memory healing on this as well. But I can tell you, I don't remember what was the memories related to this,
Yeah,
because,
no, that happens for sure.
yeah,
That is
because
that is not unusual.
yeah, because I've done so many healings on myself that I can't really pick up on like what was the exact memory, what
Yeah,
is the exact memory. And yeah, maybe I was left alone in my crib for a couple of
right.
hours, and then
Right.
I felt
Yeah.
scared or lonely or whatever was it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to just kind of like presence what you just said, which I think is so important. And that is that a lot of times we do have these trauma responses like panic attacks and such. And a lot of times we aren't able to get to what the trauma is because it was such an early life baby, infant, leaving in the crib trauma. And so I love the idea of what you're bringing in to, if I can't remember exactly what it is, I can still energetically and physically help myself.
Actually, how it happened is why I'm saying I can't remember, because I did the session, and in the source memory healing, we connect with the unconscious, and the unconscious mind knows what is
Yeah.
the memory we need to release.
Yes.
So actually, I went into those memories to release them. I just can't recall it. Like I don't remember like
Mm.
which was those memories, which was related to this issue. Because you have so many issues in life you need to
Yes.
hear, relationship issues, other physical health issues, whatever was it. And so I was doing lots of healings at the beginning when I got introduced to this source memory healing, because I was healing myself after any kinds of triggers. I was,
Yes.
oh, I need to hear this now, I need to hear that one, no, I need to this,
Yeah.
like it was a
Yeah.
constant doing it for like weeks, months, years, like.
Yes.
And basically that's why I was saying that I'm not sure what was exactly the memory I was showed by
Yes.
the unconscious mind for related to my panic attacks. So
What I'm getting from that is like you just kept showing up for your healing and being
yeah,
willing to, explore what might be going on below your conscious mind.
yes,
And
exactly, we
it's like
have to go
just
there.
the
Yeah.
act of that, like helped unearth whatever was in there, the random many things. And yeah, that really speaks to, when we are willing to walk into our abyss, cave of the abyss, like Carl Jung says, when we're willing to look in those shadowy places and those places deep inside of ourselves, it may not be logical. Like I'm really just getting that from what you're sharing. So thank you so
Yeah, the
very
thing is
much.
that as soon as you understand that, after like one or two sessions, I realized that that area of my life is completely shifted, and I felt so much
Mm,
peace and harmony. So
yeah.
that encouraged me to always do it again and again when I had
Yes.
other issues, because
Yeah,
I felt the shift, I felt the healing. Yeah.
yeah, and something I read that you were talking about it, and in some of the videos I looked at, what I thought was really, really strong, and I was like, that is such a great process, is if you notice you're getting triggered, there's something there.
Yes, yes, that's a sign. Yeah.
That is so powerful.
And many
It's
people, getting all of these reactions, like, oh, I'm angry now, or I am, feeling this and this way. And sometimes they just say, oh, that's just a human emotion. I'm just experiencing a human emotion, but they don't realize that being angry is actually not healthy for them. Is actually creating blockages in their energy centers, is making them sick, and then is also ruining relationships. So being angry is not, you can't say that, oh, it's just a human kind of emotion and it's okay to be angry. Actually, not okay to be angry. You want to be happy and joyful and kind, and you can reach that through healing.
Yeah. And I also noticed that, like, when we're triggered, as opposed to, giving our voice when someone's crossed a boundary, is that when we're triggered, it's like we amplify the anger. Instead of saying, hey, that wasn't nice that you crossed that boundary, we're like, well, because we're triggered and it's coming from such a deeper,
Exactly.
So I don't know. I just really, like, when I read that, I was like, wow, what a great way to, perceive how, like, what is going on for you, and what you might want to look at is what's triggering me.
Yes, yes.
It's great. Really, I mean, so simple, but it's so beautifully put.
When people goes to speaking therapy, for example, because they have maybe PTSD, or they have maybe, all kinds of anxiety or stress, when they go to speaking therapy and they start speaking about their situations, then that's what they got from it, like the awareness, like, oh, I'm actually having this kind of reactions, or oh, I'm actually having this kind of emotions when I get triggered. So that's the point where they can get with that, but it's not helping them to release, it's just helping them to see what is triggering them and how to set boundaries. But basically then they decide to go under the rock, or hermit phase, or pull themselves away from people, because then they feel safer there, that, okay, no, I'm not getting triggered because I'm not with people, but
Yeah, I have done that for sure.
yeah, but that's not life, like, you want
Yes.
to get out there, you want to network, you want to have people around you, and then, even family members or whatever, and you need to get healed to get out there safely and joyfully. Yeah.
Wow. What a powerful, powerful message. Like, literally, I am, like, just taking this in very deeply, what you're sharing, because I can see in my life where I want to avoid something, or where I, oh gosh, I got to talk to that person. But how you're turning it on its head and saying, no, that's a place for you to investigate, or presence, or notice that, wow, I'm triggered. So why don't I pluck the beam from my eye, instead of going, that situation is something I can't handle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have this Reiki, you're managing, and then, life is okay, but you're still experiencing these panic attacks, and someone invites you to volunteer. And can you say what it is again one more time? Sorry.
Yeah, so karma yoga healing. Yeah.
Karma yoga healing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was taught by Sumant Kaul, and he was a Kashmirian karma guru who came from India to teach this, and he was doing this for like 15 years already back then, like since 2006 he was teaching this, and unfortunately he passed away in 2022. And I had so many requests from my clients that they wanted to learn this technique, because they were also healers. Some of them were Reiki masters, some of them were, angel healers when they came to me to do this deep healing. And they were like, oh my God, this is so powerful. I want to actually use this with my own clients. And then so I was like, okay, but the guru can't teach you now. So I created a program for facilitators, actually. So if someone I want to learn this technique, I also teach this.
Oh, it's awesome. Can you share, like, the basic tenets, the basic ideas of what karma yoga does for healing?
Yeah, so it's the one of the basic tool is like the samadhi meditation, is an audio,
Samadhi.
meditation.
Can you say what that is?
Is the technique is when we spin up the chakras first, releasing the chakras, the blockages from the
Okay.
chakras. Then we
Okay.
activate the eighth chakra as well, not just the seven main one, but the eighth, which is the soul star chakra, is the chakra of the aura. So we activate that as well in the meditation, and then we activate the pineal gland. So when you activate the pineal gland, you're getting into like lower brain waves, like theta and delta brain waves. So you basically transcend. You go from conscious mind to subconscious mind. And it feels like when you are in conscious mind and people try to meditate with the conscious mind, is basically they try to lower the monkey mind, like the
Yeah.
noise. But when you do this process, like this transcendental meditation process, you transcend to subconscious, you effortlessly get into a very quiet zone. It's like going underwater, it's like you are in a beach, you are on a beach, it's very noisy, and then you go diving under the water, it's just suddenly it's quiet. So it's the same for
Yeah.
your brain, for your mind. So when you meditate samadhi, it's like you're going from conscious to subconscious, and it's very quiet, it's very calming. And you also start produce necessary hormones like melatonin, serotonin, oxytocin, growth hormone, which helps you to become more focused, have a better sleep, better mood, becoming more kind person with the oxytocin, and also even looking younger with the growth hormone.
Yeah.
So just practicing this meditation on a daily basis is already have lots of benefits. And then
Yes.
the second tool, which I really love, is the source memory healing I already talked about. So the source
Okay.
memory healing is when you get into this transcendental state with the meditation, then we start communicating with the unconscious mind and asking for bringing the memories which is related to the current issue, and then releasing them through from basically your layers of existence. So I guide the clients through this, how to release from the layers, and then at the end we actually closing it with forgiveness. It's a really important part of this healing, that you forgive to yourself as well, and then to the other people, because many people feel guilt and shame about situation what happened to them.
Yeah. Yeah. So it starts off with the samadhi meditation, which is basically a meditation that you go through your chakras, including an eighth chakra.
Yeah.
And when you're going into the unconscious, is that when you're in your root chakras and your lower chakras, or when you've made it all the way up, or
No,
where
it's
does
like,
that?
no, it's basically is you can't really physically know what it is. It's
Oh,
more
yeah.
like
Okay.
a state of mind. It's more like a
Okay.
state of mind. So
Yes, yes, yes.
you're going from the awareness, the consciousness, into more the subconscious, which is a very low brain wave. Yeah.
Just through like the guided meditation,
Yes.
just kind of
So
brings you there.
activating the pineal gland.
Ah,
Yeah.
oh, that's awesome. Okay. And so what the source healing, it reminds me of, and I don't know if you've ever heard of this, EMDR therapy. Have you heard of it?
Yeah. It's with the eyes, no?
It's with the eyes, and it has, and it causes like that kind of similar idea where through our rapid eye movement, it puts you in like a unconscious or subconscious
You,
state, like when you're sleeping.
yeah.
Which is why the eye movement, because when you're in your deep sleep, your eye movement's
Mhm.
going. And I have done it, and it actually, that is what helped me with panic attacks.
I can imagine.
So,
Yeah, I heard it from other people as well that it's similar. Yes.
yes, and so that's why I like love what you're talking about, because that is such like a wonderful way of going about it, and especially in a meditation and guiding, it feels like a very safe space
Yes,
to,
absolutely. And then what I
yeah.
realized it is a very gentle process. Sometimes people doing post-life regression, or they're doing like, releasing traumas. They sometimes, going through some physical like movements, like, shaking or crying, or,
Yeah.
feeling in a weird position. But in this one, no. In this one, it's a very gentle process. So it's basically they see their memories like you're watching a movie.
Pretty cool, right? I hope you enjoyed part 1 of my conversation with Edith. In part 2, we get deeper into her process, and she gives me an intuitive message. So you don't want to miss it. You know what I mean? As always, this has been the Spiritual Shitshow podcast. My name is Suzanne Sole, and I love you so much. I can't think about anything else, but I guess I'll just have to live with that. Anywho, I'll see you on the next one. Roll it, you delightful soul.